Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
Mom deserves the best, and there's no better place to shop for Mother's Day than Whole Foods Market. They're your destination for unbeatable savings, from premium gifts to show-stopping flowers and irresistible desserts. Start by saving 33% with Prime on all body care and candles. Then get a 15-stem bunch of tulips for just $9.99 each with Prime. Round out Mom's menu with festive rosé, irresistible berry chantilly cake, and more special treats. Come celebrate Mother's Day at Whole Foods Market.
All right, and we are back in the lobby bar for the week of May the 6th, 2024. Brian and Michaela here with you again. And Michaela, happy May the 4th. We missed it. That's okay. That's okay. If you follow our social medias, we posted a really fun video of us trying blue milk. That was how we celebrated May the 4th. And we also celebrated it with a bit of music. So if you think Michaela's singing at the beginning of Lobby Bar episodes is some musical talents, we saw a bunch of musical talents over the weekend.
We sure did. We did what any normal 25-year-old does. And we decided that we would go ahead and spend 3 full days at a music festival that was happening in Charlotte. It was called the Love and Life Music Fest, I think is the actual name of it. And it had great headliners like Stevie Nicks and Noah Kahan and Post Malone and a bunch of other people who arguably are amazing, just as amazing as those 3 headliners. It was really cool. But it occurred to me about halfway through the first day that I am not 25 anymore. My knees and my ankles are not 25 anymore. Luckily, we got kind of splurgy, and we splurged a little bit on some better seats, a better experience overall with slightly better bathrooms. So that was kind of cool. We got to meet some of the bands. That was neat.
Yeah, got to meet some of the bands. Had a pretty good time. It was weather was a bit up and down. It was hot, and then it was cold and rainy, and then it was back to being hot again over the course of the weekend. But had a really good time. It was like a Drink the Music reunion. We saw Stevie Nicks, of course, from the Fleetwood Mac. There we covered on Drink the Music, and we also saw the Beach Boys, which we covered on Drink the Music as well. So it was a really fun time. We had quite a few good drinks, some good food, and some good time to be had by all. But unfortunately, Michaela, going to music festivals really gets in the way of May the 4th, which is, of course, Star Wars Day. It's also a Kentucky Derby Day, I guess. Hopefully your horse won out there. But Star Wars is definitely my jam, 1,010%. So I was a little bit sad to miss May the 4th festivities, if I'm being completely honest, even though that the music was great. But I thought what we should do for this week, Michaela, is we should have an extra special Star Wars celebration for ourselves. It's just 1 week after May the 4th, and that's not a big deal. And we're going to be covering The Phantom Menace, which is back in the theaters because it's its 25th anniversary. Michaela, how does that sound?
It sounds amazing. And I can't believe that we saw this film in the theater, not together because we didn't know each other then, but 25 years ago, man. And this is one of the films I think you said you've seen it the most times in the theater of all the films in your life.
That's right. Absolutely. I have seen it the most times in my life, and we're actually going to be adding one of those times this week. We're going to see it tomorrow night as of this recording. So definitely looking forward to that. But when I was over at your place this past weekend, we were getting our cocktails put together for the Phantom Menace. We were getting it put together for this month's Patreon bonus episode, which is going to be the incomparable Ewok Adventure, The Caravan of Courage, one of the greatest films of all time, for sure. We were getting these drinks put together, and we found a really good one on a website, and it had another one on the website, and it was called a Naboo Royale, and we weren't going to make it. But then I got in the mail from Kara, who does Into a Larger World. It is a fan magazine, and she makes a bunch of collage art. And I got a collage art print of Queen Amidala herself, and I said, well, now we have to do the Naboo Royale. So let's make one. We'll put the art in there, and I'm going to put a link to Into a Larger World Instagram page there. You can go check out some of the artwork there. It's amazing. She has a podcast. You can listen to that. It's all Star Wars deep dives and really great interviews. So go check that out. But I thought a Naboo Royale seemed the correct way to kick off the Phantom Menace 25th year. What do you think about a Naboo Royale, Michaela? Mix one of these up and tell everyone what you thought about it.
It was really good. So it's kind of a summery, I don't know. It's got Dubonnet, which For any of you oldie fans, in our very first year, I think we covered like a Dubonnet martini, and then I haven't touched the Dubonnet that we bought since then. So it was kind of neat to dust that off the old liquor shelf and add that to a cocktail. You're going to need 3/4 of an ounce of that and 3/4 of an ounce of gin. You heard me right, gin. And then you're going to put that. You can put that in a shaker tin. You can stir it really nicely. It needs to be very nice and cold. But then you're going to top it up with a float of champagne. And it's going to be this beautiful, like pinky, like a dark kind of a burnt sienna color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it almost has
And
like a tint of like rust to it. Think of like the
yeah,
sandstone of Naboo or
that's
Lake
right.
Country in Italy, which is where Naboo was, or Spain. It has kind of that same aesthetic there, and it looked beautiful. We had it in a really pretty glass, and this was really good, Michaela. It came together really nice, and you're going to need that bottle of champagne anyways when we talk about the Phantom Menace later this week.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really good. I have to say, I enjoyed this a lot more than I did the Dubonnet Martini. No offense to Tootsie, the movie that we did there, because the movie was great. Not my favorite Dubonnet cocktail, but this was amazing. And I have to say, we actually served it to my husband, and
Hmm.
he loved it, loved it. He was like, "This is really great." Now, he hasn't had a lot to drink in the last couple of weeks. He's been kind of taking it easy. So this was his first foray back into the alcoholic world, and maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But for being a person who is avowed to hate gin until the day he dies, I thought that was really interesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this was a really good one, and it was really pretty, and it did a really good job of getting me excited to go see The Phantom Menace, which is exactly what we're going to be doing here in just a little while, Michaela. We're going to be talking about it over on the main episode, and a lot of people were excited to go out and see it. Let's take a look at this week's box office. We have the new release, The Fall Guy. It took the weekend, of course, with a pretty respectable $28.5 million, followed by Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, $8 million on its re-release there. A pretty good showing, which, Star Wars Episode 1 is well over $1 billion now at this point. Challengers, the new film Taro, and Godzilla still hanging in there in the top five. So, The Fall Guy, Michaela, have you heard anything about this? It looks pretty fun. We had intended to go see it, but, life gets in the way, and the fact that there's like 1,000 movies coming out in the way. I have to tell everyone this. So I was sitting in my car waiting to go into the movie theater the other day. You and I went to see Challengers, and I was looking at all the posters on the side of the wall. Right, the theater wasn't open yet. We were seeing the first showing of the day, so I was sitting in the car waiting for you to get there for him to open up the theater, and I'm looking at these posters. And it's been a long time since we had this sort of like summer blockbuster. It feels like, at least like 5, 6 years probably. There's a lot of good stuff coming out, so I don't know if The Fall Guy is going to make the cut. But what do you think, Michaela? Do we need to go see it?
We do. We do, because I need to be able to say hand on heart whether or not this is a film that my son can watch, because he is
Mm.
in love with Ryan Gosling. I
He
think
is convinced that it is. So.
he's convinced that it's for him. He's convinced that this, I think he's gotten everything he sees Ryan Gosling in is like Barbie, or
Mm.
a musical. So I think he doesn't realize that this has all potential to be fairly adult and not for him. So we're gonna have to see it at some point. Maybe we can sneak off and catch it like in an opening matinee. That seems to be a good call for us. But I don't know, because you're right. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out that looks amazing, that I'm also excited to watch. So I don't know. We're gonna have to like carve out time.
That's right. So Regal is singing its praises though, because when we were there to see the film, they had special The Fall Guy cocktails, which means that it's probably worth you and I seeing at the very least. So we might have to carve out time to go see that. I don't know. We'll get back to you on that. But one thing we are definitely going to be carving out time for, that is the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That comes out this week. It releases this weekend. We're not going to be able to get to see it here for about a week, because you're going to be doing some traveling for work. So I'm going to have to, be patient. That's okay. I can go back and I can watch the three lead-up films to that. And we actually started this past week. We watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It's been a long time since I watched that one. And it's really good. Love it. I love it so much, Michaela. We're going to be talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Also, we're going to be talking about the original Planet of the Apes here in the next couple of upcoming weeks. But where does this rank on Michaela's hype meter for summer blockbusters that are going to be coming out this year?
excited. I mean, I really didn't get into the Planet of the Apes until I guess not even the Mark Wahlberg one. So the original one, or I guess the third redo of it, with what's his name?
Yeah, Rise that we just watched. So yeah, so this newer one, right? So
Yes,
with James Franco and
James Franco. I'm like, what is his name? Yeah, I really liked that one, and I forgot how much I liked it until we
forgot
saw it
how
again.
sad it was.
Oh, really? Just awful. But yeah. So I'm super excited because I want to see what further happens because they take like a space of time in between each film. And so
Hmm.
you see like how deteriorated the world gets and how like you know, time kind of changes people's ideas of history. And so there's a lot of like human aspects to this that you can, even though it's a fictional story, you can kind of overlay into themes of life that we see today. It's kind of neat that way. So I'm really excited about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and it looks like there's a lot more like special effects stuff that I'm excited to see, and makeup
Mm. Hmm.
in the makeup department. There's also like a cute little baby King Kong looking thing.
Let us know out there if you get out to see it here this week. But yeah, we're definitely going to be covering that one. Definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking about Medicine Man. That's what we did last week, Michaela. We had a chat about that. Had a really good cocktail for the Medicine Man. We've got the Phantom
We did have
Menace
a really good
coming
cocktail.
this week. We're also going to be doing, as I mentioned, the Ewok Adventure Caravan of Courage for our Patreon, patreon.com/drink the movies. If you want to get in on that bonus episode, that's a movie that really took me back. I watched it over this weekend. The wife and I took me back to like 9-year-old Brian watching Caravan of Courage like 1,000 times. So that was a pretty good time. Hopefully everyone out there had a really nice May the 4th or Derby Day, or if you saw any live music or did anything fun over the weekend. We hope you had a good time out there. Let us know what you think about the Fall Guy. Let us know if you made it out to see Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, and let us know if you bought any cool Star Wars stuff. Send me a picture of that because I'd be jealous of it for sure. So I don't know. I think that's going to wrap it up for the Lobby Bar this week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.